Hello, everyone. My name is Lex the Illusionist. I am testing out my first stream and I want to see how many people go online for the first time when I do this. It's currently a Saturday night. I am at home working on different projects, video editing, magic, music, etc., etc., and just practicing overall. Want to see how everyone's doing tonight, who out there is having a good time. Hello to the one subscriber that has finally signed on. I hope you are having a good time. If you have any questions for me, please put it in the chat. I do a number of different things, and I'm here to give advice tonight. It is a Saturday. Question is wealth, and he's gone. So much for him. All right. So the goal is to see what works, what doesn't work, and this could take 1,000 times to do right. It could take 1,000 times to do wrong, or it might just be easier to upload preset videos and have people click on those. I have no idea. I have yet to try this streaming option and to see if this actually is a monetizable time frame. Now, it shows in the options when I first selected this stream that I would be able to be monetized for going live. Now, I'm going to also assume that you need a certain amount of time since YouTube Shorts requires 90 seconds or less and 10 million subscribers in come January 23rd, I believe, in order to be monetized. But first, you also have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watch time, which takes a while. Easiest way to do that is to really focus on branding. I am personally guilty of not doing that and going more for quantity versus quality. As I have learned more and more, I see what works, what doesn't work, and I have more than one channel that I am working on. I have seen what monetizes and how often on Facebook and Instagram, along with the tiers of how much they pay, what the CPMs are, who pays the most, how you open up these options on each of these platforms, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, doesn't really matter. Even though I do love entertainment, my background is actually in business and political science. That's what I went to college for. And as I like to say, even though it does help a lot for knowing what I did learn in college, they are completely like having two useless degrees. I learned a lot, and yes, some of it does benefit me today in ways that I am grateful for because it shows me how the rest of the world works, whether it's taxes, finances, music is what my only thing I actually enjoyed because it wasn't so numbers crunched. And even though I've always been good with numbers, there's always someone that can do more math. And ever since the invention of a calculator, it was just going to go on from there. You have projection softwares that can do what took me a year in college practicing to learn. But it's not the same as having it. Technology is obviously not the same as a human brain. A human brain is going to pick up things that technology won't, and vice versa. After all, we do program computers, so they can only do what we tell them. So while the tech is nice, it does take a human brain to understand it. Back to what's entertaining, because it is a Saturday night. This is a t-shirt for my father. He goes on vacations every once in a while as the software genius that he is. And because of him, I have a ability with computers that I find useful, although it did take a long time for me to understand how he developed the work from home model. Being a software engineer, of all the skill sets that he luckily had that background and ran an eBay business on the side, which gave me an idea of how to operate my own business on the side when I need to and want to, because of course we all need more than one stream of income. But at the end of the day, you're going to have days that even when you're doing what you love, if you're doing it 24/7 all the time, the exact same thing, it's like the fun gets sucked out of it. A lot of things are going to be done on our own. I like music more because it's such a large crowd. You get to really share that with a lot of people. But the work involved in order to make those things are possible are very difficult. Look at festivals; those are 80,000 people, and imagine the work that those artists have to do just to get on those festivals. How long it takes, the connections it builds, the amount of media marketing they have to do, the amount of posts that have to be made, the amount of hashtags that have to be researched, the amount of people that have to be involved. Looking at magic productions, music productions, doesn't really matter what they take. Honestly, Sum 41 Simple Plan concert had probably 25 at least people on that production moving with those buses. I mean, there were photographers that got hired, people that were outside. 3 photographers were there. You had the sound engineers, you had the venue, you had the picture people. I mean, I saw at least two outside photographers there, one tour photographer, and they had 3 bands selling to 3,500 people tickets at the venue. Amazing what they were able to pull off, but the logistics that go on beyond these things are incredible. If you look at a show like Penn and Tellers, it takes 25 people to make that show work. I mean, imagine the number of hours having to find people that have those particular skill sets that can do them on command, to have the theater practice. I mean, some magicians have assistants upon assistants. So the best shows, the ones that draw the biggest crowds, have usually more than just one person on stage, unless that one person has the charisma and the ability to have everybody share the experience with them. I mean, Justin Timberlake has that, Britney Spears has that, Avril Lavigne, Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day has that ability. Adam Levine seems to have it. Many people on America's Got Talent, Penn Jillette. So it seems that you have to be able to know how to speak to people, to their hearts, and how to connect with them if you want to enjoy large crowds. And music is the only thing where 80,000 people will repeat back to you exactly what you've said to them and memorize it. I've known many, many magicians in my life. I've worked with Penn and Teller and on a couple projects, and I've learned so much from them. And it's amazing that as famous as they are and as skilled as they are, they still have to work their butts off. They do the free meet and greets because people appreciate that. You have other headliners that don't do that. And even though their names are plastered on the side of the Rio Hotel, they have to pay for that room. It's not like the hotel gives it to them for free. Some hotels do that, but to get the hotel to give you the hotel for free, you have to, man, you gotta know your business. I mean, Penn and Teller were doing productions on HBO, and they still pay for the room. Matt Franco, I don't know if he does or not. That might be in his NBC contract. That could be a number of things. Piff, I believe, probably still pays for his. I'm not 100% sure. I know that he agreed to pay for a long enough time that he renewed the contract there. But there's always different contracts, and every contract's going to be a little different because at the end of the day, they're going to have to put together X number of shows, fill X number of seats, and that's going to require X number of work in marketing and X number of performances, X number of people. So when it comes to at a hotel or $100 million in the stock market, it's going to take people and a team of people to get something done because there's just not enough time in the day to do it yourself. Anybody that has ran a business usually has 1 or 2 other people that do what they used to do because they don't want to do it anymore. They're bored doing it, or they would rather outsource it and spend their time doing something else that's going to bring in more income. If you look at bands that go on their first tour, going their last tour, they have street teams of 12 people that they hire in every single city, spending at least $100 to go and promote the event, because even if they have true fans, which they could have a gazillion fans, but there's no guarantees that those fans are going to be there every single show. Even if they want to, they might not be in that position financially. So even if you sell out to 80,000 people, there are some people that have never seen certain bands. I've gone to see bands, and the first time I see them is because they happen to be hooked on with another one, and then I end up like seeing them. So sometimes the best marketing and the best exposure is the kind you get working and collaborating with other people, because then you have their audience on top of your audience. But in order to exponentialize that, you need a team of people. You need to be able to work on things, and you need to think about it in simple terms of ones and zeros. Okay, what can I do with $10 in marketing on Facebook ads? What can I do with $10 of marketing if I decide to purchase an app that will take care of having much higher quality thumbnails or pictures and advertisements that I could use? So little things on marketing make a huge difference. At the end of the day, that's still what makes the biggest difference for even the biggest bands that have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They still have to pay for marketing budgets in order to sell 80,000 tickets. I mean, it's not like one person just opens their mouth, goes on TV once, and even if they did, there's no guarantee that they're going to sell 80,000 of those tickets. That's millions of dollars worth of merchandise, ticket sales, fees for the broker, fees for the managers, the tour managers, the merch people, the hot dog vendors, everybody, all the things that go into that. I mean, people don't realize that there's a logistical work involved when it comes to even one night of production. Look how many people Taylor Swift or Katy Perry has on stage. They got 6 dancers, they got freaking illusionists, they got people with fire, they have pyrotechnicians, a light guy. That's a lot of work. That's an expensive production. And that's what makes a difference between being able to charge a small amount and a large amount is, are you willing to put that much money and risk that into your shows? Because if you're not willing to risk the bigger effect, even if it could potentially fail, if you're not willing to take that risk, why would you expect your audience to be willing to pay more if they're for a ticket? You have to be willing to invest into it, just like a good piece of real estate. If you want a good high quality show, you might need a giant screen. You might need something that plays big. Pack small, playing big is a very difficult skill set. If you can do it, great. Playing cards and knowing your media and blowing up on a teleprompter makes a huge difference, because the way that you might not get a person to pay for something today, but they might pay in a week. They might pay in 6 weeks when they have more money. If they're watching and they like what you're doing and they want to support it, they might come and buy a ticket. There's a million reasons, but there's a reason that in the restaurant industry, it takes 4 times of a person seeing you or going to that restaurant before they have a 70% chance of returning. So a lot of people don't realize that the musicians, that people that you see on tour that have money because of their success, they had to do the same thing over and over again and show it to many people, because even if they show it to 80,000 people and one big city, there's still going to be 80,000 other people that haven't seen it. Look how many times Green Day has played Time of Your Life. 500 million streams, but there's 8 billion people on the planet. That means that maybe 1/16 people haven't seen it. So over the time as a compounding factor is the one thing that makes a relevant difference, because the time in the market, whether it is the music market, whether it's the financial market, such as the stock market, the gold market, the amount of time that you spend in each of these markets determines how much of your return on your interest you're going to get. The amount of time you spend practicing music and being in the music industry tells you how much you're going to get over time. But it's also about making the right decisions, making mistakes, learning what to do, what not to do, and being willing to make mistakes. And you're going to have days that don't work. You're going to have things that don't work out. You're going to have times that you lose money. I knew I had a manager guy that I was working with who probably lost $600 on a show because there was an issue with the booking on it being on a website, something stupid. He lost at least $600 on that, plus God knows how many hours. I lost about $200 on it, but you know what? There's 99 other shows, so big deal. Not the end of the world. You got to focus on the compounding. I mean, when you make a phone call to book a show, do you want to play the price once, or do you want to do 10 of them? If I'm making a YouTube video, I'm not going to make one video. I'm going to make 10 videos because I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun doing it. I'm going to make it a fun process. I mean, I'm not huge on going on live streaming. I like just playing music and showing it to people because that's the moment I really, really feel everything. But if I want to be able to provide value to you, to everyone that watches me, that supports me, I want to be able to share what I learned in business school. I want to be able to share the music, because if it wasn't for those things and learning the things such as the sweat equity involved, whether it's 100 videos, 1,000 videos, 1,000 repetitions on a guitar, 1,000 card shuffles, doing that over and over again and being able to enjoy making money. I want to enjoy the process of making video. I hate videoing to the max. I would kill to have the funding to be able to pay an editor. But we'll see how that goes. Right now, I know that that would make a huge difference, but time is something that I really value, and I'd rather be getting the raw footage and finding a way to outsource the video editing. Unfortunately, that's out of budget, so I'm going to have to learn those skill sets myself. So I'm trying to figure out the best method to give you the highest quality that allows me to do quick editing that is quality for you, but allows me to enjoy the process at the same time. The unfortunate part is that there's apps for everything on an iPhone, but I don't want to do everything on an iPhone. I want to do it on a computer. So unfortunately, beggars can't be choosers, and that requires an expensive software like Final Cut Pro or Premiere, or outsourcing that to others, which eventually will happen, but it's going to be a long time till that happens. And if you have any questions for me, whether it is on the purity of gold, whether, the stock market is going to be down for a long time. I don't know if it's going to be down for a long time. It could always change, but I mean, now's a good time to buy, in my opinion. As far as I'm concerned, it's on sale. I mean, Warren Buffett keeps 30% of cash on hand at all times for a reason. I know that, I mean, I bought Carvana the other day, and luckily it just skyrocketed. So that's a quick return. I can make a sale and make a quick profit on that. But, or am I going to hold it? It's up to me. Which do I want to do, the short or the long term, depending on if it's my day trades or if it could be my long term holdings. So, I mean, take market opportunities, because the best day to invest was yesterday, and it's going to be consistent. I know a guy who is a successful financial advisor, but he has 4,000 of something before it was actually worth something, but 4,000 is what it is. I mean, that's what it is on a spreadsheet. 4,000 items. You go to a Macy's, they got 4,000 items on a shelf. So you may as well make the process interesting. But if you're going to start your own business, don't spend the time doing it with something you're not passionate about, because if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to enjoy the process. You're going to hate it. That's like working a Target for someone else's dream just because they're going to sell whatever sells, not necessarily the things you love. Even if you're working at a Best Buy and you love electronics, are you really going to be passionate about what you're doing, or would you be much more passionate about creating and designing computers versus just selling the one that Microsoft had? I mean, do the thing that you love and find a way to make it work for you so that you can make the most with your time and the most profit with your ability. Anyways, I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday night. I hope something of this was helpful for you. And I hope that you have a wonderful time. And next time we'll have some magic and music. Thank you very much. My name is Lex the Illusionist. Take care.